welcome to KilKare Speedway. I'm Nick Pennington, and I'd like to thank you for buying this Ben Stroke Productions At the Track videotape. We're here tonight with the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series stock cars, late models, modifieds, pure stocks, pro stocks, and mini stocks. So we're not going to waste any time. We're going to get right to the racing action. Once again, thank you for buying this Ben Stroke Productions At the Track videotape, and please enjoy. Our first feature of the night is the mini stock heat race number 1. Inside the front row is the 45 of Eddie Flora. Outside him, the 17 of Frank Harvey. 95 is Derek McCussion. And the 60 of Jerry Moore. 6 is Ron Wells. And 99 is Greg White.
Alongside him in row number 1 will be Frank Harvey. His truck is down into the infield. Lights off that. 6 vehicles in our mini stop. And a 6-lap heat race. Eddie Ford brings him up to the line.
And that's going to be a false start. Flagman Larry Betty's not liking the looks of that one, so we're going to get a re-rack and get a realigned here and get a restart in just a moment.
KilKare Speedway. He's had a bunch of number 2 finishes in the heat. In fact, 3 of them. And he's got 4 number 2 finishes.
And the 45 of Eddie Flora will be the leader of lap number 1. Second is the 17 Frank Harvey. Third belongs to 60 of Jerry Moore. Still your leader in the 45 pickup truck. Frank Harvey right on his back bumper. Then it's the 60 Jerry Moore and the 6 Ron Wells. And your winner will be the 45 of Eddie Flora. Coming home second will be Frank Harvey. Third will go to Jerry Moore. Fourth to the Ron Wells number 6 truck. And rounding out your top 5 will be Derek McCussion in the 95. Once again, your winner, car number or truck number 45, Eddie Flora.
This evening, Eddie Flora finishing in front. Harvey second, Moore third, and Ron Wells. Vision for
Heat race number 1 for the pro stocks. John Maloney and Virgil Tao on the front row. 25 of Justin Miller and the 97 of Jeff Wilson. 20 is Ellis Lawrence Jr. And in a moment, the green flag.
underway. We're to follow the green and yellow machine, number 78 car, right alongside Maloney in row number 1. And up to the white line. Back to the field at the start of the race with Jeff Wilson in the 97. Trying to get down the field and throwing it in.
And your leader lap number 1 will be the 78 of Virgil Powell. John Maloney running second. Justin Miller holding on to that third spot.
Around John Maloney. Maloney gets a little sideways coming out of turn number 2. All of a sudden, opportunity for Justin Miller to run out. Now with the
78 machine. John Maloney running second. Looked like Ellis Lawrence Jr. in the 20 car was slow down the backstretch. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 78, Virgil Powell. And your winner will be car number 78, Virgil Powell. Coming home second will be the 12 of John Maloney. Third will go to Justin Miller in the 25 car. And fourth to Jeff Wilson, and rounding out your 5-car field will be Ellis Lawrence Jr. in the 20 car. Once again, your winner, car number 78, Virgil Powell. Heat race number 2 for the Pro Stocks coming up onto the track. We're going to line up this way. 52 Miller inside of the front row. Outside of him, Ron Lewis in the 4, and then Daryl Norman in car number 3.
Track for our last week's racing action. Ron Lewis looking to make his way up and capture the all-4 points battle out here. Heat race is underway. 3 vehicles going 6 laps. Looks like it's going to be a shootout between they're going side by side.
And leader of lap number 1 will be the 52 of Mike Miller, but Ron Lewis battles back going into turn 1 on the outside. Now Lewis falls into that second position behind Mike Miller. Daryl Norman running third. White flag for your leader, car number 52, Mike Miller.
So far, he's been able to hold them off. Halfway around.
And your winner will be car number 52, Mike Miller. Coming home second is Ron Lewis, and Daryl Norman will take home third.
So Mike Miller out of Franklin, Ohio.
Once again, your winner, car number 52, Mike Miller.
He also has a feature race victory that came back on May the 12th. This
Heat race number 1 for the modifieds coming out on the track right now. On the pole of this one will be the 11 of Dick Dunleavy. Outside of him, 3, Jerry Stapleton. Then it's 1 of Mike Carroll. 88, Dan Williams. 10 is Steve Snap. 6 is Derek Barnett. 28, Ralph Herod. 18, Jim Bird. 4, Charlie Davis. And the 82 of Terry Flora.
It'll be the 18 of James Bird. Row number 5 features the number 4 of Charlie Davis and number 8.
And caution comes back out. That will be a restart.
We'll start this one over with. Yellow flag is out. 11 cars out there for this 8th race. 6 on me.
False start number 2.
Cars line up in the back stretch.
And as the old saying goes, third time's a charm. Let's hope it's so with this heat race. Your leader is 11 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. Running second, Mike Carroll in the 1 machine. And third is the 3 of Jerry Stapleton. And Dan Williams running in fourth in the 88 machine. Now Carroll looks to the high side of Dick Dunleavy, who turns 1 and 2. Dunleavy still your leader. Now Stapleton looks to the inside of Mike Carroll. In turn 1, can't quite get the job done. He remains third, Mike Carroll in the second. Halfway, 4 laps in, 4 laps to go. For your leader, car number 11, Dick Dunleavy Jr. A little sideways coming out of turn 2. Mike Carroll looks to the high side, going into turn 3. They're side by side down the front stretch. White flag, 1 lap to go for car number 11, Dick Dunleavy Jr., your leader. Sideways in turn 1. Jerry Stapleton, Mike Carroll right there. Good battle for second. And your winner will be car number 11, Dick Dunleavy Jr. Coming home second is the 1 of Mike Carroll. Third will go to the 3 of Jerry Stapleton. Fourth to Dan Williams in the 88. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 28 of Ralph Herring. Once again, your winner, car number 11, Dick Dunleavy Jr.
And we'll have another big field in our second
Heat race number 2 going up on the track for the modifieds. 58 is Kevin Colvin. 17, Ed Lawrence. 31, Don Fleming Jr. 5 of Sky Hinkle. 86, Roy Sowers. 42, Jim Lewis Jr. 25, Gary Smith. 72, Boreski. 76, Frank Harris. And the 77 car of John White.
Number 1, outside of him will be the 17 to Ed Lawrence. Don Fleming, 31, inside of row number 2. Skylar Hinkle outside of him. 86, Roy Sowers inside of row 3.
Is the 17 of Ed Lawrence. Don Fleming Jr. running second in the 31 machine. And now the 17 of Ed Lawrence with a problem. He's slow down the backstretch. Your leader is the 31 of Don Fleming Jr. running second. 42 of Jim Lewis Jr. Third belongs to the 25 of Gary Smith. lap to go for your leader, car number 31, Don Fleming Jr. And your winner will be car number 31, Don Fleming Jr. Coming home second will be Jim Lewis Jr. in the 42. Third will go to the 25 to Gary Smith. Fourth to the 58 of Kevin Colvin, and rounding out your top 5 will be car number 5, Sky Hinkle. Once again, your winner, Don Fleming Jr., car number 31.
Don Fleming out of
Heat race number 1 for the Pure Stocks, Jeff Marsh, Jeremy Everding, Danny Suffren, and Chris Popal, 73 of Larry Hornback, and the 00 of Matt McCarty.
the green flag. So 7 cars will be taking the green flag from Larry Betty. 6 laps will be the 6. Jeff Marsh.
Lap number 1 will be the 71 of Jeff Marsh. Jeremy Everding running second, Danny Suffren third.
Jeff Marsh, start Danny over Jeremy Everding down the back straightaway.
Still your leader, Jeremy Everding running second. Third belongs to Danny Suffren, and fourth to Chris Popal. White flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 71, Jeff Marsh. And your winner, car number 71, Jeff Marsh. Coming home second will be the woman of Jeremy Everding. Third will go to Danny Suffren in the 28. Fourth to Chris Popal in the 57, and rounding out your top 5, car number 3, Brian Roush.
Number 0, Matt McCarty, rounding out the field, the number 73 of Larry Hornback.
Once again, your winner, car number 71, Jeff Marsh. Heat race number 2 for the Pure Stocks Point All on Track. 75 Brian Cottrell, 88 Ken Burnett, 6 is Craig Conover, 24 Sean Miller, 63 Brett Clark, and the 07 of Leonard Preston.
That is green flag in hand.
Cottrell will lead lap number 1, but only by a half a car length over the 88 of Ken Burnett, who's riding on the outside, Slips back a little bit. Craig Conover now takes over second as Ken Burnett slips back in the 88. Sean Miller looks for a way underneath the Ken Burnett machine as Ken Burnett tries to battle back. Your leader is the 75 of Brian Cottrell. Still Brian Cottrell, Craig Conover, and Ken Burnett. 63. To go for your leader, car number 75, Brian Cottrell. And your winner coming out of turn number 4, car number 75, Brian Cottrell. Coming home second will be the 6 of Craig Conover. Third will go to the 88 of Ken Burnett. Fourth to the 24, Sean Miller, and rounding out your top 5 will be the 63 of Brett Clark. Once again, your winner, car number 75, Brian Cottrell.
That closes out the pure stock division. And we'll bring out our late model.
Heat race number 1 for the late models, and they'll line up this way. Carl Stapleton and Dave Brandenburg on the front row. Then it's Dave Ellis inside of row number 2. Outside of him, the 70 of Joe Hill. See Gene Trace in the 01, and inside of Gene Trace in the 01 is the 91 of Scott Drake, and then out back the 75 of Gary Estes.
Leading the field around through the back straightaway. Dave Brandenburg closing it up.
Dave Brandenburg with just barely over the 33 Carl Stapleton. Now they're side by side going through turn 3, now turn 4. And down the front stretch, side by side, your battle for the lead. Contact between Carl Stapleton and Dave Brandenburg. Stapleton almost loses it, but gathers it back in over in turn 1. Flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 2, Dave Brandenburg. And your winner will be car number 2, Dave Brandenburg. Coming home second will be the 33 of Carl Stapleton. Third will go to the 91 of Scott Drake. Fourth to the 34 of Dave Ellis. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 70 of Joe Hill. Once again, your winner, car number 2, Dave Brandenburg.
Last run for Dave Brandenburg came all the way back at May. KilKare Speedway.
And our final heat race of the night will be the second heat race for the late models. On the pole, this one will be the 5 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. Outside of him will be the 22 of John Vallow. Inside row number 2 will be the 72 of Jerry Stapleton, 98 Stump. Outside of him, 17 Sam Heckman, 18 Greg Stapleton, 43 Will Spurgeon, 16 Robbie Dix, and the 53 of Russ Ball.
15 of Robbie Jacks and the 53 of Russ Ball.
comes in and right at the start. That's the 22, John Vallow. A very rare occurrence to see as Vallow loops it. Coming out of turn 4 to take the green flag, so we'll get a complete restart.
Infield. Nick Dunleavy Jr. leads him down the back straightaway. John Vallow right alongside him.
Dick Dunleavy Jr., but John Vallow right there on the outside. Now Vallow slips back just a little bit over in turn 2. Dunleavy takes over the lead securely down the back stretch. Third belongs to the 17 of Sam Heckman. Got one spun over there in turn 2. That's the 53 of Russ Bob.
Out in third 1, and next up back here, pace truck. Rolls down to the infield. Nick Dunleavy Jr. Single file leading the cars up to the line.
Dunleavy brings them back up to speed. The green flag comes out. John Vallow running second. Sam Heckman holds on to that third position. Fourth belongs to the 98 of Chris Stump. And fifth, the 70 of Joe Hill. Start check. That is the 43 of Will Spurgeon. The other black car out there, the man running in fifth. Sorry, Will. And now Chris Stump moves to the high side of Sam Heckman going into turn 1, and now running third is the 98 of Chris Stump. Stump slow down the back stretch. Your third place car dropping out of this race. Dick Dunleavy still your leader. John Vallow running second as the white flag comes out. And your winner will be car number 5, Dick Dunleavy Jr. Coming home second is the 22 of John Vallow. Third will go to the 17 of Sam Heckman. Fourth will be the 43 of Will Spurgeon. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 18 of Greg Stapleton. Once again, your winner, car number 5, Dick Dunleavy Jr. And our first feature of the night will be the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series Pro Stocks. Inside row number 1 will be the 20 of Ellis Lawrence Jr. Outside of him, the 25 of Justin Miller. Row number 2 is the 12 of John Maloney and the 3 of Darrell Norman. Row number 3, car number 4, Ron Lewis, and the 52 of Mike Miller. In row number 4, car number 78, Virgil Powell, the 97 of Jeff Wilson, and out back in row number 5, car number 14, Clark Wolf.
John Maloney on the inside of row number 2. Darrell Norman outside of him. Ron Lewis inside of row number 3. 52 of Mike Miller outside of him. Virgil Powell inside of row number 4.
And that's going to be a restart.
Why'd they do that? I didn't see it.
20 lap.
False start.
Will be
We're supposed to come across the line side by side and not start racing until that line
the pure stock ranks.
Does Howerton Plumbing
Justin
still
Miller driving at
around here?
425.
Howerton Plumbing? They used to a long time ago.
Dean Howerton.
Yeah.
He's on some pit crew for, what's the one that races before NASCAR? He's on an ARC.
Underway as soon as 30 minutes gets up that green flag. Getting a jump rod.
And leader lap number 1 is Ellis Lawrence Jr. in the 20 machine. Second is the 25, Justin Miller. 52, Mike Miller runs third. 97, Jeff Wilson is your fourth place car. Good battle for fifth between Virgil Powell and the 3 of Daryl Norman. Now Powell getting underneath Daryl Norman for that third spot. Battling side by side, or excuse me, scratch that, the fifth spot. And now Virgil Powell runs fifth. Ron Lewis getting down on the Daryl Norman machine sixth. Miller looking to the inside of brother Justin down the backstretch. Once again coming out of turn 4. Lawrence Jr. still your leader. Battle for second, third, and fourth. As Justin Miller, Mike Miller, and Jeff Wilson doing battle for the second through fourth positions. Mike Miller looking to the outside now as Jeff Wilson looks underneath down the backstretch. Wilson now with the advantage. He's got third place away from Mike Miller. Getting underneath Virgil Powell for fifth place. Ellis Lawrence Jr. still your leader in the 20 machine. Justin Miller running second. Jeff Wilson now third as Mike Miller looks underneath the Jeff Wilson machine now. Still battling for that second through fourth positions. Justin Miller, Jeff Wilson, and Mike Miller. Still your leader. Mike Miller looking to the inside now, down the front stretch of Justin Miller. And Mike Miller now has second. Jeff Wilson trying to get underneath and contact, and Jeff Wilson down into the snake pig. He's still moving, and now he spins down the back stretch. And he's on the track, so that will bring out a caution.
Everything sorted out, so we're back number 12 last in the book. So Ellis Lawrence will now have to get 10 with Mike Miller. Lawrence in first, Justin Miller second, Mike Miller third, Ron Lewis fourth, Virgil Powell fifth, Daryl Norman is sixth, seventh place John Maloney, eighth place Clark Group at the moment, ninth place.
Miller wanting to get around for second. And now side by side, the brothers Miller going into turn one. And now Mike Miller gets underneath Justin Miller. And Ron Lewis comes through. It looks like Virgil Powell's going to come through also. Ellis Lawrence Jr. still your leader in the 20 car. And Virgil Powell, something has let go underneath the hood in the Virgil Powell machine, and we see a whole bunch of smoke. He jumped off the track real quick. I don't think there's anything on the track. He got off the track almost immediately. But obviously, we got to move the Virgil Powell car, and we're going to check the track out. So we'll have another caution.
Cars will go down the back straightaway, and we'll get this
on the restart. It will be Ellis Lawrence Jr., Mike Miller, Ron Wells, Justin Miller, and then Jeff Wilson. Wilson wastes no time, moves to the high side of Justin Miller, gets around 4-4. Mike Miller now goes to work on the leader, 20, Ellis Lawrence Jr. Coming out of turn 4. Side by side down the backstretch, going into turn 3. Slight advantage, and now give the advantage to Mike Miller, car number 52, your leader. Ellis Lawrence slipped back just a little bit more. Ron Lewis now runs second. White flag, 1 lap to go for car number 52, Mike Miller, your leader. Ron Lewis right on his back bumper, 97 of Jeff Wilson in third. And Ellis Lawrence Jr. running in fourth. And your winner will be car number 52, Mike Miller. Ron Lewis will come home second. Third will go to the 97 of Jeff Wilson. Fourth to the 20 of Ellis Lawrence Jr. Rounding out your top 5, car number 25, Justin Miller. Once again, your winner, car number 52, Mike Miller.
Automation, the spot group on that machine. Congratulations to Mike Miller, picking up his second feature event victory of the season. Gets the checkered flag for the photo presentation. They can wrap around the track.
And as Mike Miller enjoys his winter circle festivities, it's time for the mini stock feature.
Stapleton Buick mini stocks for a 15-lap feature.
Inside row number 1 is the 60 of Jerry Moore. Outside of him, the 95 of Derek Mercutian. And in row number 2, 45 Eddie Flora, and the 6 of Ron Wells. Row number 3 is the 17 of Frank Harvey and the 10 of Brian Brewer. And out back in row number 4, car number 99, that's Greg White.
In the 17, outside of him, will be the number 10 of Brian Brewer. And rounding out the field, the number 99.
Sideswipes the backstretch wall. Jerry Moore gets underneath. Eddie Flora gets underneath. And Ron Wells. So it's Jerry Moore, your leader. Ron Wells running second, and Eddie Flora third. Frank Harvey holding on to that 4th position. makes it by just fine. Now the 10 of Brian Brewer will be the next to go a lap down. Jerry Moore still your leader. Ron Wells look underneath. Going into turn one, can't quite get the job done. Still your leader. Ron Wells running second. Frank Harvey third. Wells takes a look inside down the backstretch. Can't quite get the job done though. Now Frank Harvey look to the high side of Ron Wells. Battle for second down the backstretch. Jerry Moore down the front stretch. White flag, 1 lap to go. And I'm wrong, that was the checkered flag. Your winner is the 60 of Jerry Moore. Frank Harvey beats Ron Wells for second. Ron Wells will finish third. Fourth will go to the Eddie Flora machine car number 45. And rounding out your top 5, the 95 of Derek McCusion. Once again, your winner, car number or truck number 60, Jerry Moore. And as you can see, the late models are gridded on the front stretch. That means it's time for the late model feature. Inside row number 1 for the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series late models, car number 18, Greg Stapleton. Outside of him, the 33 of Carl Stapleton. Row number 2, 17, Sam Heckman, and the 2 of Dave Brandenburg. Row number 3, car number 5, Dick Dunleavy Jr., and the 75 of Gary Estes. Row number 4, 72, Jerry Stapleton, and the 22 of John Vallow. Row number 5, car number 70, Joe Hill, and the 98 of Chris Stump. Row number 6, 91, Scott Drake, and the 01 of Gene Crace. Row number 7, 34, Dave Ellis, and the 43 of Will Spurgeon. And in row number 8, 53, Russ Bobb, and the 16 of Robbie Jacks. In a moment, we'll have the green flag for you.
Greg Stapleton in the 18 with his number 1 right there on the outside of row number 1. Sam Heckman and Dave Brandenburg.
Carl Stapleton, 18 of Greg Stapleton runs second. Third belongs to the 2 of Dave Brandenburg with Gary Estes running in fourth. Brandenburg moves to the high side, right in the Highland lane, move around the 18 of Greg Stapleton. Side by side for second now, Dave Brandenburg on the outside, Greg Stapleton on the inside. And give the advantage to Dave Dave Brandenburg that time by the stripe. He runs second, wasting no time, moves to the high side of Carl Stapleton. And we got a major crash over there in turn 2. Several cars involved. The 98 of Chris Stump's involved. The 17 of Sam Heckman. The 5 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. And I see another car there. I believe that's the 22 of Don Vallow.
We've got 4 cars involved in a melee in turn number 1. The other vehicle is going all settled
And if you look towards the front end of the 22 machine, you see the puddle starting to form. And there's the steaming fluid, which is probably water from the radiator. 18 of Greg Stapleton moving past, and tough break from John Vallow in the 22 car. As track cleanup continues, I'd like to take this opportunity to remind you that not only does Pennstroke Productions at the track videotape here at KilKare Speedway, but also Columbus Motor Speedway, following the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series. For all your NASCAR Ohio videos, you can email us at thetrackohio@juno.com. Let us know what you want, and we'll get in contact with you. Or tapes are $20 plus shipping and handling, and just give us a call. Once again, that's Pennstroke Productions at the Track Videos, your exclusive source for NASCAR Ohio Weekly Racing Series videos. On the restart, it will be Carl Stapleton, car number 33, your leader. Then Dave Brandenburg running second. Greg Stapleton holds on to third. Then Barry Estes running in fourth. Rounding out your top 5 right now, the 98 of Chris Stump. Stapleton still your leader. Brandenburg looking for a way around. He runs second. He's moving to the high lane, trying to find a way around Jerry Stapleton in the 72. They're side by side. As Brandenburg now moves out to the high lane, starting to work on brother Carl Stapleton for the lead. Dave Brandenburg moves to the high side of Carl Stapleton. Coming down the backstretch, slight advantage to the 33 of Carl Stapleton, but Dave Brandenburg is right there. Joe Hill still moving up steadily on the outside. He now goes to work on the 98 of Chris Stump.
not by much. From over Dave Brandenburg. Also side by side now for second. Joe Hill on the outside. Greg Stapleton on the inside. 4-car battle for the lead. And now Dave Brandenburg just that easily takes over the lead. Car number 2, your leader. Joe Hill now goes to work on Carl Stapleton for second. Slight advantage to Hill going into turn 1. Joe Hill with a quick slip past inside, and Joe Hill now takes over second from Carl Stapleton. 91 Scott Drake now moving up on the high side. He runs in the 4th position. Carl Stapleton 3rd, Joe Hill is 2nd, and of course Dave Brandenburg, your leader. Seems to have gotten very, very loose as he is losing ground on the 2 leaders and kind of a logjam behind him. 18 of Greg Stapleton, the 91 of Scott Drake, battling side by side for 5th and have to count 4th position. Dave Brandenburg still your leader. Joe Hill is closing slightly in the 70 machine. Scott Drake continues to work on the 33 of Carl Stapleton, battle for 3rd. As Joe Hill continues to close on the 2 of Dave Brandenburg. A white flag, 1 lap to go for your leader, car number 2 of Dave Brandenburg. Joe Hill runs 2nd, battle for 3rd. Carl Stapleton slightly ahead of Scott Drake, that time by the stripe. And your winner will be car number 2, Dave Brandenburg. Joe Hill will come home 2nd. 3rd will go to Carl Stapleton. 4th to the 91 of Scott Drake. And rounding out your top 5, car number 18, Greg Stapleton. And we got a couple spinning over in turn 2 after the checkered flag is flown. But no doubt about your winner, car number 2, Dave Brandenburg.
Dave Brandenburg picking up his 3rd feature win. We'll bring out.
And our next feature to pull up on the track is the Pure Stocks.
15 left. Blank Chevrolet Pure Stock.
And they're going to line up this way. Excuse me. Inside row number 1 is the number 1 car of Jeremy Everding. Outside him, the 28 of Danny Suffren. Row 2 is 6 Craig Conover and the 75 of Brian Cottrell. And in row number 3, car number 3, Brian Roush and the 24 of Sean Miller. Row number 4 finds the 88 of Ken Burnett and the 71 of Jeff Marsh. Row number 5, car number 57, Chris Papa and the 63 of Brett Clark. Row number 6, car number 73, Larry Hornback and the 00 of Matt McCarty. And in row number 7, car number 8, John Schmidt and the 07 of Leonard Preston. The KilKare pace truck is already pulling off the track. And we should get a green flag next time by the stripe.
I'll get the green flag this time by as Larry Pennington looks over the field.
side-by-side battle for the lead. Jeremy Everding on the inside. Danny Suffren on the outside. Greg Conover watches in third with Brian Roush running fourth. Still side-by-side for the lead. Jeremy Everding on the inside with the slide advantage. Danny Suffren a wiggle through turn two. He drops back a little bit more now. And battles back in turn three. Now loses a couple positions. Now battling for third with Brian Roush, and Roush has third. Jeremy Everding, your leader. Craig Conover runs second. Brian Roush third. Danny Suffren back to fourth, and Ken Burnett running in that fifth position. Sideways coming out of turn four. All the slower cars get down to the inside. Jeremy Everding puts a lap on the Leonard Crescent machine and John Schmidt, and now 13 of Larry Hornback. Car number one, Jeremy Everding, your leader. Feature as the laps continue to tick away for the pure stocks, spreading out a little bit now. One lap to go for your leader, car number one, Jeremy Everding. Greg Conover runs second. Coming up on lap traffic. And your winner will be car number one, Jeremy Everding. Craig Conover comes from second. Third will go to the 3 of Brian Roush. Fourth to the 28 of Danny Suffren. And rounding out your top 5, car number 88, Ken Burnett. Once again, your winner, car number one, Jeremy Everding.
In addition to the victory on July 21st, we also had feature wins on June 23rd, and back on the opening racing on April the 14th. Jeremy Everding out of Burkeville, Ohio, progressive cars, terrific Muffler Brothers.
And our final feature of the night will be the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series Modifieds. Inside row number 1, car number 17, that's Ed Lawrence. Outside of him, the 3 of Jerry Stapleton. Row number 2 finds the 11 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. and the 88 of Dan Williams. In row 3, 28 Ralph Harrod and the 31 of Don Fleming Jr. Row 4 is the 42 of Jim Lewis Jr. and the 1 of Mike Carroll. Row 5, 58 Kevin Colvin and the 5 of Sky Hinkle. Row 6, 10 Steve Snap and the 86 of Roy Sowers. Row number 7, car number 6, Derek Barnett and the 25 of Gary Smith. Row 8, 18 Jim Bird, 4 Charlie Davis. Row 9, 72 Mike Bereski and the 82 of Terry Flora.
Steve Rickard starting on the inside of row number 2.
In row number 10, car number 2, Steve Rickard and the 76 of Frank Harris. And in row number 11, 77 John White. In just a moment, the green flag. Sideways going into turn 3, the 17th car, and they scramble behind him. Everybody gathers it back in, and we stay racing. And now the 28 of Ralph Harrod with a spin down the backstretch. He saves it though, throws it in gear, and keeps going, and we stay green. So tough break for Ralph Harrod, but good driving, excellent driving job by the 28 machine. And the caution does come out because we got one spun over in 2. That's the 76 of Frank Harris. Still your leader, Jim Lewis Jr. running second, Dick Dunleavy third. And we got some spinning over in turn 2. Dan Williams involved. The 3 of Jerry Stapleton, 5 Sky Hinkle is spun on the inside. And I don't believe the 82 of Terry Flora actually made contact. I think he got it rode down into time, but heavy damage to the 3 and 88 machines. Caution comes right back out. You can see the heavy damage to the 3 of Jerry Stapleton as parts and pieces are falling off as he takes it back to the pit area. And making it back out on the track after doing some repairs, the 3 of Jerry Stapleton. Just as the green flag comes out, and contact between the Ed Lawrence machine and the 42 of Jim Lewis Jr. Lawrence, your leader. Jim Lewis Jr. running second. Dick Dunleavy, Mike Carroll. For fifth right now, a battle between the 25. Oh, and problems for the 42 of Jim Lewis Jr. He backs out of it in turn 2. Don't know what happened to the 42 machine. All the tires appear to be up. I don't know if he's going to make it back to the track. He is awfully slow, or back off the track. He's awfully slow over in turn 4, and I don't believe he is. I think we're going to have another caution. And the caution comes out, and amazingly, as the caution comes out, he finds the fire underneath the car. On the restart will be Ed Lawrence, Dick Dunleavy Jr., Mike Carroll, the 25 of Gary Smith, and the 28 of Ralph Perry. And Dunleavy wastes no time, looks to the inside of Ed Lawrence and gets around over in turn 1. Mike Carroll follows him through. Now Carroll looks to the high side of Dunleavy, trying to find a way around, battle for the lead. The 11 car of Dunleavy on the inside, the 1 of Carroll on the outside now, side by side going into turns 1 and 2. And now Mike Carroll down the front straightaway, then just that easily takes over the lead. Mike Carroll, car number 1, your leader. Dunleavy back to second. Ed Lawrence runs third. Out a little bit as they all try to get around the lap car. I believe that's the 58 of, no, it's 4 of Charlie Davis that everybody's trying to get around at this point. There's the 58 of Kevin Coleman, 2 of Steve Rickard, and the 76 of Frank Harris, followed by the 3 of Jerry Stapleton. Your leader is still the number 1 car of Mike Carroll. Inside of the 42 of Jim Lewis Jr. back out on the track, but very slow. And Jim Lewis Jr. takes it back to the pits once again. White flag for your leader, car number 1, Mike Carroll. And your winner will be car number 1, Mike Carroll. And home second will be the 11 of Dick Dunleavy Jr. 17, Ed Lawrence finishes third. The 425 of Gary Smith is fourth. And rounding out your top 5 will be the 28 of Ralph Perry. So once again, your winner, car number 1, Mike Carroll. And once again, I'd like to thank you for buying this Pennstroke Productions At the Track videotape. Please keep in mind that we not only videotape here at KilKare Speedway, but at Columbus Motorsports Speedway, following the NASCAR Weekly Racing Series. So for all the NASCAR Ohio action, turn to Pennstroke Productions At the Track. For my wife, Kim, my partner, Bill Yo, our production assistants, Mike Brown and Katie Moore, I'm Nate Pennington. We'll see you next week at the track.
Germantown Auto Supply, Precision Tune,